All right, I'm back for Dusty S's ongoing coverage of Frag Tap 2, and with Kamron following tournament's qualification to playoffs. So to start, a pretty easy game against Revel to lock it in. How are you feeling coming out of that match?
Pretty good. The hardest part was honestly just getting all the PCs to work, but once we got that, it was a pretty easy group.
With that, there have been some issues with the PCs. From your perspective, like, what's been the biggest issue with the setups here?
Uh, there's some stuff. It's really tight, which can be kind of annoying, but it hasn't been too much of a problem. It's really hot, so I think a lot of the PCs are overheating and the frames are kind of getting a little crazy. Like I think we just had a rough setup, so a lot of our FPS was dropping whenever like people would throw nades. But I'm hoping we just get better computers tomorrow and it'll fix most of it.
And you were something of a last-minute stand-in for this timbermen squad. I believe you only really locked in for the team sometime last night. How did you end up getting onto this timbermen squad? Were you already in Philadelphia before the LAN?
Yeah, so I live in Connecticut, so it's not that far of a drive, and I just really wanted to come to Philly to see some of my friends. So I was just looking for anybody that wanted a team, and I saw Snap's post on Twitter, and I was like, oh yeah, let's do it, like almost as a joke. And then they're like, yeah, actually we're down. I was like, okay, dope. Didn't have to pay. I was like, okay, cool.
And what's that been like playing with the tournament squad? Elephant in the room, obviously, is there something known for being a bit, toxic, a bit just interesting guys, a bit, bit of a different team to play with, especially compared to a team like Akimbo, where, you have those very different team culture. Stoic Mongolians, thank you. What's that been like playing with those tournament guys?
They're pretty fun. I mean, I play a lot with them like FPL and stuff whenever they're queuing up, so it's been kind of like that experience. We're mostly just like here having a good time. Obviously we want to go on a run in playoffs, but I don't think we're too worried about it. Everyone's been good so far. So.
And on this team, there's also Consti and nooz. So Consti just came back from an extended trip to Taiwan, I believe, and nooz obviously plays for Fluffy Aimers. What's it been like playing with those two guys, two of your contemporaries in the ECL space?
Yeah, I've known Consti for a really long time, actually. Like, when I first got into Advanced, we'd scrim him when he was on Rise, like, years ago. And I never really played a lot with nooz other than FPL, but I've actually had so much fun playing with him. Like, he's a really funny guy. He's just trying to have a good time. I think the vibe's really high, honestly, which is making it more fun.
And big news for you recently is the fact that Akimbo did end up winning ESEA Advanced right after we talked at Fragadelhpia, besting out Undefined to lock in a spot. How are you feeling making that return to ECL?
Yeah, that's awesome. I really never expected it to happen this way, but I'm definitely super excited. I mean, we played really well in the grand final. Like, I was happy always to beat like an old teammate in Bobby, so it definitely made it a little more sweet. But now we kind of just have like a 3-month break of just waiting to play ECL.
Tell me about that. Like, what are you guys going to do to stay sharp for ECL? And do you think that's kind of how do you think you're going to stay sharp for ECL?
Yeah, we're definitely not one of those like super heavy practice teams. So I think a lot of it is just making sure individual form is on point and just staying up to date on meta and stuff. So I think a lot of it just comes down to doing our own work outside of like the team environment, and then we come back and we feel good playing whatever's available, Cash Cup, stuff like that.
Do you think that's kind of a failure of the NA scene, that there's not really a whole lot for you guys to get up to, especially from ESL's offerings?
Yeah, I wish there was more tournaments and stuff. Like, obviously the Limitless Cup that just happened because we couldn't play some scheduling. There used to be, I feel like, more qualies, but I haven't seen as many recently. It really sucks because we wanted to play Advanced again, but there's some, they just won't let us play because we already made ECL, so we at least wanted something to do that felt like officials, but now we're just kind of in a waiting room until ECL is over, so.
And what do you think about the team's chance at ECL? Of course, Akimbo's been showing they can play quite well online against ECL teams. So what's going to be the expectation for that squad in ECL?
Yeah, I feel like ECL is really in flux right now. Like, the top teams like Legacy M80 feel like super strong, and then everyone else is kind of just like at this middling point. So I feel like it's a really good opportunity for us to take advantage of some of the teams that are like fallen off, and I think we can do like a really good showing next season.
And overall, what's the expectation for this Timber Mix team here in Philly?
I think it's always to win it. I mean, it'd be fun. I mean, Timbermen come to all the lands I go to and just stomp everybody and win. So I think it'd be cool to be part of the enemy for once and to take a win here.
All right, so that's Kamron of the Timbermen Mix, and they'll be playing in playoffs starting tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll let you enjoy the night.